Focus on Paterno, though. When you look at the Big Ten race at this point, they have some work to do if they're going to get up there and catch the likes of a Michigan State, Ohio State, Wisconsin, or Iowa. Still some ball to play, but that brings us to a little campus connection. We send you out to Iowa City for a look at the Big Ten and how this could all play out.
Hey experts, this is Alex Solsma outside Kinnick Stadium in Iowa City. Currently, Iowa, Michigan State, Ohio State, and Wisconsin are all atop the Big Ten Conference with one conference loss apiece. What do you think the chances are that the Hawkeyes run the table in November, which would include defeating the Buckeyes inside Kinnick Stadium on November 20th?
So let's go big picture for the Big Ten. Who wants a shot?
Well, I think the Big Ten, first of all, I think they're very top-heavy. I think when you're talking about these four teams, who else are you going to really argue in the conference?
You don't like Minnesota?
Not a big Minnesota advocate. Purdue, no. But and here's the thing: if you look at these teams at the top, Ohio State's got one loss, Michigan State's got one loss, Iowa's got one loss. And if you look at this in the remainder of the schedule, there's no doubt in my mind it's Wisconsin. Wisconsin's going to have the chance. Wisconsin's going to run the table. They play Indiana, Purdue, Minnesota.
They don't need help, though. They don't need help.
No, not only do they not need help, they're not playing anybody that really scares them. And if you can do what Wisconsin did, and this is what I'm impressed with, back-to-back Ohio State and Iowa. If you're debating the top teams and you're mentioning those other teams in the conversation with them, and you beat them in back-to-back weeks and physically manhandled them, I'm impressed, and I think there's no doubt Wisconsin's the best team and they're going to win it.
All these teams are clones, so why did Wisconsin have an out-of-body experience when they went to Michigan State? I mean, Scott Tolzien, 44%. And then they come back like world beaters, beating teams that you think, okay, the biggest thing with Wisconsin, I do agree with you, we don't agree all the time, is that they have the best road. But you got to look at this Iowa team as playing spoiler, because everybody they play now, they're going to be geared up and ready to go. It's just a matter of who do they have left on their schedule to even impact.
Well, I love Iowa. The problem is they need something bad to happen to Wisconsin. So no matter what Iowa does, it's
something tragic.
Wisconsin closes at Penn State, though, right?
Yes,
correct.
That's their last game.
Potential roadblock.
Yeah, it is.
I was at the Wisconsin-Iowa game 2 weeks ago. I think Wisconsin's the best team right now. I wouldn't want to play Ohio State at home. I don't know how good Ohio State is on the road, but Iowa, we talk about Bama being the best one-loss team. Iowa's probably undoubtedly the best two-loss team.
How much is it killing the Big Ten that they don't have a championship game? And I think that's what everybody sees why they're trying to go to the expansion to get that game. Because everybody, as soon as Alabama lost, it's, oh, well, they can come back, they can win the SEC championship. Ohio State loses, it's not the same case because you know it can't happen. So
look at their schedule.
Yeah,
and
but
that's why with the Buckeyes
come back, that's what I'm saying. It's killing them not having a championship game where they can redeem themselves.
Well, not a championship game. Look at Ohio State's played. That's the reason they're out of the debate. When you talked about Alabama and getting kicked out of the mix and getting knocked down, they still played three teams that were ranked above them. You look at what Ohio State has to. I mean, that schedule is as bad as Boise's. Every bit as bad as Boise's. I mean, they're not challenging themselves out of conference at all. Miami's a team that they look to challenge themselves. What is Miami? I think we all agree they're a big disappointment. But Eastern Michigan, Ohio, Miami of Ohio, Marshall, yeah. I mean, they're not challenging themselves whatsoever, and that's why they don't deserve to be back in the race.
You know, round robin, the non-true round robin, where you don't play two teams every year, is what's killing them. I mean, a week ago we were talking about how unfortunate it was Michigan State and Ohio State weren't going to play, and that was before both of them lost. So.
And we saw it with Texas, Texas Tech, and Oklahoma. It comes down to BCS ranking, and that's going to be Wisconsin who's going to be ranked the highest if it comes down to a tiebreaker.
And the Badgers getting some good news on the injury front. Nick Toon, wide receiver, expected to be a go for Saturday's game. Also, Brett Bielema was saying he bets that Lance Kendricks, the tight end, will play, and James White should be 100% by the end of the week. We're just getting rolling here on BCS Countdown, or the experts, whatever this show is called. Boise State in the mix for a BCS title. Is that the case after they play Hawaii Saturday here on ESPNU? Find out coming up on the Experts.